Fox News alert, a recording of Joe Biden's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur has just been released. Axios got its hands on about 8 minutes. We'll play some of it for you in a second. Robert Hur had been appointed special counsel by the Biden Justice Department to investigate Joe Biden's mishandling of classified documents during and after his vice presidency. Classified documents were discovered in sloppily packed boxes in Joe Biden's garage, next to his Corvette, and inside his home office. At the same time Biden was raiding Mar-a-Lago and indicting Trump for mishandling classified documents, his handlers were scrambling to locate the classified documents that Biden had mishandled. Now, Biden, as VP, didn't have the constitutional authority to possess any classified documents. So after Robert Hur interviewed President Joe Biden, he released a report. The report stated that Joe Biden had mishandled classified documents, but because he was a, quote, sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, he declined to recommend charges. Later, the transcript of the Biden-Hur interview was released, but not the audio. Tonight, we have some of this audio. First, we'll play you a portion where Special Counsel Robert Hur asks President Biden, "Where did you keep your papers?" And Biden can't answer, and then rambles incoherently about his son. Can't remember when his son died and can't remember when Trump was elected. Watch.
So during this time, we were living in Chambers Road, and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden, or the cancer shot, or your book. Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was, and so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I might run for office again. Well, if I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Bo die? May 30th, 2018. Was it 2015 he died?
2015.
I think it's 2015.
I'm not sure the months are, but I think that was
That's right, Mr. President.
And what's happened in the meantime is that Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 2016. All right. So 2017 here.
That's when you left office, January of 2017.
Okay. But that's when Trump gets sworn in.
Right.
January.
Right. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And in 2017, Bo had passed, and
Robert Hur was absolutely right. It's very hard not to feel sympathetic for President Biden. He's clearly exhausted, his memory's shot, and he's lost and confused about his very painful past. Joe Biden and Robert Hur continued.
Bo, I used to go home on the train in the period that I was still in the Senate. Anyway, if you remember. There was not pressure. Bo knew how much I adored him. And maybe this sounds so, everybody knew how close we were. There was not anybody in the world who wondered whether or not, anyway. And so.
Sir, I'm wondering if this is a good time to take a break briefly.
No, let me just keep going to get it done.
Biden still hasn't answered the question 4 minutes later. Still hasn't answered it. Where did you keep your papers? Still has not answered it. If he can't answer a simple question like that in a high-stakes interview, how was he in the Situation Room? How bad was his memory? What else wasn't he able to remember when he was president? Remember, this is the first time an outsider had spent any time with the president for a very long time. This was October 2023. This is the third year of his presidency. Remember, he had been kept from his cabinet secretaries, went for months without seeing or speaking to them. This was at a time when his inner circle was getting smaller and smaller. And sometimes there'd be like 4 to 5 days when the public hadn't even laid eyes on him. Hur was the first one within the Biden administration to tell the truth and say, something's not right. And when his report was released, it was like a bomb went off. Biden was forced to jump out of bed at 8 o'clock at night in a hastily arranged press conference where he lashed out at her and started pointing his fingers.
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
For months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, watch me. Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
Biden's performance instead did nothing to shut down the talk that he was too old to be president and too old to run for re-election. But the dam never really broke. Democrats were never able to force a primary or force him to step down. And the next bomb to go off after the Hur report, the debate.
We finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.